Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Tomorrow at Reset we are going to get the biggest upgrade equipment event that we got in this game, and it's gonna be only for 24 hours. It was announced today in the social medias, and I would really advise you to take advantage of that, and I will show you how to do that because you're gonna have only 24 hours. Don't waste the resources in useless equipment that you can get later on Ultra Bonanzas, Mega Bonanzas and normal Bonanzas. Just remember, on Wednesday we are going to get an Ultra Bonanza, which is not the same as an Ultimate. This one is even a grade higher, but you can use this one to set up the Ultra Bonanza later. Now to start with, if you want to farm erasers in advance, you can. I made a raid video last week on the infinite raid. You can check that out if you want to know how many erasers you can get. I did 100 run, and you can see on average how many you can get from that. Now what I would advise first is to start by farming your unique equipment from co-op, because those equipment are super rare, and they are very hard to get by if you missed the initial co-op that we had. So you can only get them by spending co-op medal, and you don't spend the co-op medal like randomly. You just wait for big events like this and spend them when you have the higher rate and higher chances. So tomorrow, if you are missing some co-op equip, I would advise to start buying them, and you're gonna try to get some C equip, and it's gonna be a higher grade. Another tip I will give you is do not upgrade the last slot of unique equipment that are fixed. For example, we have this one, they have 3 fixed passives, and do not upgrade those because they are not affected by Mega Bonanzas, upgrade Bonanzas in a general. Just upgrade the other slots that are affected by the Bonanza, and to know if they are eligible, look at that, there is a small box here that's saying they are not eligible. Same for TOP equipment, do not upgrade the second and third slot tomorrow. It's gonna be the same as always, they are not eligible, just the first slot is. So if you want to farm the TOP equipment, just farm a bunch of first slots and keep them for later. What I would really advise to farm is unique equipment, for example the co-op ones, and try to farm slots like this, and you don't need to max them. I would also advise to not do any guaranteed upgrade, leave that for later, just get a good slot and you can guaranteed upgrade later. For example me, I have a lot of equipment like this, I just upgrade them where they are almost godly, and I will guarantee upgrade them later when I have when there is no Bonanza, because guaranteed upgrades are not affected by Bonanza, and when the Bonanza is over and I have erasers, I will upgrade them with time. So for me tomorrow what I will do is I will upgrade a bunch of unique equipment I have left, because I don't have many non-godly equipment left, and I will just try to upgrade all of those and try to get a good yellow slot, and I will do the guaranteed upgrade later when this Bonanza is over. So I know I'm not wasting erasers that I can use on the normal rerolls. I can do guaranteed upgrade later because it's not affected by the Bonanza. Another thing I would advise is getting some first slot Awaken equipment. Awaken equipment are very hard to get first slot, especially if you are a new player. You're gonna need a lot of resources. If you are an older player, probably get a million of USDR medals, but it's still a good time to do that. You're gonna buy a bunch and try to upgrade them, especially the first slot. Tomorrow just try to get first slot. For the other slot, usually Awaken equipment, they are not hard to re-upgrade on Ultra Bonanza. I would advise to get first slot for Awaken, and reroll the unique equipment that are harder to get high tier on. Awaken equipment, to be honest, even on Mega Bonanza, I don't struggle too much with that. Now for gold equipment and easy to get equipment, what I would advise, for example, let's say the current PvP equipment, I would advise to get just a bunch, here buy a bunch, and get a C slot and save it, don't reroll it yet. Use your erasers on the unique equipment. Moreover, for this season specifically, I would advise you to get these two equipment if you are running Saiyan Saga. It's the best time to get them and you'll get the highest rate possible. So do not miss out if you are running Saiyan Saga. Get these two equipment, especially get a good first slot. Now let's look at Legends ranking equipment and TOP equipment. Tomorrow is the best time to get the Legends ranking equipment. And it's not because of the first slot, because the first slot is fixed. It's just because of the other 2 slots. I would really advise to use erasers on them. Use all your legends ranking equipment, medals or resources you have, and try to reroll them. You're gonna get a better rate than ever for them. And if you're missing 1 or 2, just do it tomorrow. For the OP equipment, you buy them from the rare medal shop. You're just gonna buy a bunch of them. Just buy a bunch. If you don't have like 8 clash equip, just buy a bunch like this and have 8C equip, and don't reroll them. Just save them, don't reroll them, and you can reroll them later, because the first slot is gonna be affected by the Bonanza and the other 2 aren't. So you're gonna try to set up your first slot and get it as high as possible, and you save it to reroll on another day. You don't need to do it tomorrow per se. Basically tomorrow you're just gonna buy your TOP equipment and save them. If you don't know what TOP equipment you need to buy, let me show you in a second. Here is it in screen. Basically you buy 8 of those clash equipment, you buy 8 of this car equip, especially this car equip, because there is only 1 slot. You try to get 8 maxed one, and the rest you can check on screen. You do not need this silver equipment, no need to buy them. Now let's look at the events equipment or energy based equipment. Now if you are missing a couple of equipment that you get from the different events, you can do them tomorrow, especially the first slot. They are not the hardest to get compared to co-op equipment or Awaken equipment first slot. I would say they are a lower priority to get the first slot on. You can still farm them on Ultra Bonanza, you just need to use extra energy. It's not the biggest deal compared to co-op equipment with limited resources and Awaken equipment with limited resources too. I would really prioritize them over this unique equipment from the energy events. But if you finish with your Awakens and your co-op equipment, you can come to this ones and buy some of them here and try to get first red slots, and you're gonna be good to go. Finally, we're going to talk about the equipment collection here, the gold equipment. There isn't too many good ones, but there is some that I will advise. For example, here you have this regen equipment, who is super OP because it gives 21% blast damage inflicted. I would advise to farm it. Also, when you farm your Awaken, I would advise to come to this event, buy a bunch, and use them as fodder for the Awaken. If you get some good one, good, save them. If you don't, just use them for the Awaken currency. Another one I would advise is this one. You can get 12% HP, which is pretty good for 17 and Saiyans, especially Saiyans, because there is an Awaken version for 17s, but if you want a lot of HP, and if there is a hybrid meta again, it's gonna be useful. And you can find the stage in the Saiyan part here, it's not the underwit. The last gold equipment worth it from this equipment event is gonna be this one, which is in the hybrid part, and it's gonna give a lot of ultimate damage, special move damage, and it's gonna give HP. I would advise you to roll the HP part, not the regen part. It's gonna be useless for the regen one, and you're gonna have 12% HP, double defenses, ultimate damage, and special move. It's still a super OP equipment. If you want to farm it, it's gonna be good. Basically, the 3 equipment I would advise is the half arm regen, the one with Trunks on hybrid, and the one with 17 on Saiyans. That's basically it for today's video and my tips for tomorrow's Ultimate Bonanza. You farm your first slot co-op equip, you farm your first slot Awaken equip, use this equipment collection event to get currency for the Awakens, and in the meantime you try to farm the Saiyan 17 equipment, the hybrid Trunks equipment, and the regen cell equipment. So you are doing 2 things in one. You try to get your Legends ranking equipment. If you haven't yet, you try to roll them because it's gonna be the best time. And if you are missing some ultimate equipment collection, you can get them too. Do not reroll the last slots that are not eligible for Bonanza, because some of them that have a specific third slot, for example, for unique characters, it's not gonna be eligible. Finally, you can get the PvP equipment first slot, and in the PvP shop you can get the unique equipment for Saiyan Saga that are important if you are running Saiyan Saga. And also I would advise to get the first slot for the TOP equipment, because the other slots for TOP, they are not affected by Bonanza. You can reroll them anytime. However, the first slot is. and it's gonna be good to get them ready for later. I hope you enjoyed, have a good one, and goodbye.